What is up, legendaries? It is Amina Lee. So, season 2 of Ginny and Georgia is finally here, and I binge watched it all in less than 24 hours to give you guys this video. I'm going to give you guys a short recap of what happened at the very end. And of course, you guys know I'm always the best at giving some theories. So, before we even get started, what is up, legendaries? It is Amina Lee, aka the person that has no dang niche on YouTube. And I know you guys love that. So, before we get started, do not forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications, like, comment, and of course follow me on Instagram. Stalk my feed, like my pics. Don't really care, but let's get started. For part 1 of this video, let's do a mini recap. So if you're new to my videos, I like to just focus solely on the last episode, but of course throwing in details that happened throughout the whole season, because 1, it keeps you guys intact and focused, and 2, I don't want to just mind scramble, keep you guys confused, like what the hell is this girl talking about? Why is she going from episode 10 to episode 1? You know what I mean? So pretty much episode 10, it really tackles, Georgia and her decision and her wanting to leave, and Ginny telling her, like, mom, like, you have to stay. And the reason why Georgia wants to leave, we see Georgia as a character throughout season 1 and season 2, how she just flees, and her problem, how she solves her problems is just by leaving an environment she views as toxic, but she doesn't want to, of course, heal those past wounds. And we see that she tends to bottle everything up, and she tends to, explode, but at the same time, it's more to herself, if you guys know what I mean. So I love how Ginny does, like, convince her mom to stay, which is, like, impeccable. I did love that conversation that they had before ultimately, she does, get locked up. But we're about to get into that, okay? So the main antagonist throughout this whole entire season is, of course, Austin's dad, and his name is Gil. He is fresh out of prison. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I love you. So pretty much he's out, and we know that the reason why he was in there was because, Georgia, you know what? He was, really like a meanie poo. So he deserved it. Anyways, just kidding. Don't be mad at me, guys. So anyways, he's out, and pretty much he is like kind of like trying to blackmail Georgia, like, hey, give me this money. I'm gonna tell people about your past, all this different stuff. And at the same time, you see the private investigator all up on Georgia. He was getting on my nerves. I'm like, dude, go home. Do you have a life? Please. Damn, I know you're doing your job, but damn. Okay, so pretty much Paul and Georgia do get married, even though Georgia did cancel the venue because she was, of course, trying to leave. Cute. Ginny, of course, makes the wedding happen at the place where Georgia works and the mayor, so that's pretty cool. The reception was beautiful. I loved the soundtrack, okay, throughout the whole entire season. Especially it was like, I could never fall. That was beautiful, okay, beautiful. Chef's kiss, cherry on top. And the dress was beautiful, reception was beautiful, everybody was there. You had Georgia's first baby daddy, Zion, and of course you had Joe's supremacy, Zion's supremacy, and Paul's supremacy. Holy Trinity, love them, except Gil, he's not included. So everybody was there, and of course Marcus was there as well. And I do want to add a little note. I love how this season deals with mental health. I love how it shows how teens, especially with Gen Z, you guys know I talk about this in my high school survivor guide, how mental health, especially with Gen Z, it's really like not being talked about and focused enough, especially in like TV shows and school systems, because one, parents don't know how to deal with that. And that was shown between Georgia and Ginny, how she doesn't like the therapy aspect, but it helps, Ginny. And at the same time, Marcus is going through his own thing, and they're both like and toxic like mindsets right now, but their relationship is so beautiful. But at the same time, their relationship cannot happen into fruition, and of course to its fullest extent of love, unless they solve their own mental health issues. So I really wanted to add that before we get into theories. So we see Paul. I was like, where did I get George from? We see that Paul and Georgia are dancing, beautiful reception, Ginny makes amazing speech, and out of nowhere the cops are here. And pretty much the reason why the cops are there is because Georgia had to off Cynthia's husband Tom. Why did she do this, Amina? Pretty much we see that Cynthia and Georgia kind of become like cool. It's weird, but I understand why it happened. First, we see that Cynthia, of course, witnesses, Gil being like extremely rude. I don't want the videos to get demonetized, you guys know what I mean. Towards, of course, Georgia. And of course, at the same time, she helps Georgia throughout the whole entire season. I think it was something with like the house property, and she made him like not move into the town. Somebody explain in the comments. I'll pin it. And she really helps. So she pretty much views her offing Tom as like a situation to help Cynthia and her son, because they're like, of course, nobody wants to see their father and their husband just slowly pass in their living room, whatever. So she gets arrested for that. So not for the offing. I think it was for her, the one who was getting a little bit too inappropriate, like way too inappropriate, disgusting with Ginny. It was like the scenes with the yoga. Not that dude. She gets arrested for the murder of Tom. Which kind of surprising, because I'm like, the private investigator wasn't even, whatever, he got on my nerves. But let's get into the theories. So, it's a lot. This is the Lifetime literally Real Housewives together. So, part 2, which is the theories, which is always my favorite part. If you guys follow me on here, and of course, any social media platform, you guys are like, Amina thinks she's a sidekick. I do, because one of my theories always comes true. And I will pull up the proof in another video. Okay, but first, I definitely think that Marcus and Ginny are going to get back together. It's pretty obvious that the writers and, of course, just everybody just wants them to be together. No other love interest has been introduced. It's not like, for example, like a Georgia and she got like 3 different dudes on her bumper. She's that girl. Georgia supremacy. So obviously they're gonna get back together. Love it. Georgia supremacy and Ginny supremacy. But I do want to say really quick that Ginny's growth this season has been amazing, especially with therapy. I just feel like it was a lot, especially when she walked out in class, where of course she talked about her picking out a book that of course resonates, the most with her, with the teacher, and she walked out. That was a very great scene. So shout out to Ginny, of course, the actress that portrays her. Now 2, what the heck is going to happen with Georgia and of course her recent problem with the law? I'm not sure how she's going to get away with this. Now, do I think she's going to be sentenced for the rest of her life? No, because one, they didn't even find evidence. Like Austin, they're probably never going to take Austin serious. Dude literally just pop his dad in the arm. Like, and I feel like Austin will protect his mom. But we'll see. Like, do I think she's going to be sentenced for such a long time? No. Either she's, one, going to get parole, or 2, she's going to walk away doing something devious and somebody's going to help her. I'm telling you, something's going to happen like that. I don't think she's going to go for the rest of her life. Now, 3, how is Ginny and Georgia's, relationship going to be? Honestly, I feel that since a lot of people are like, oh, like, she can't be trusted, I'm like, dude, like, she literally opened up to her daughter and her son about what Gail did to her. Like, imagine if she kept that inside and was like, yeah, guys, nothing happened. Like, just imagine. So I feel that, of course, Austin especially and Ginny are really going to, I feel like, support their mom. Of course, there's going to be some challenges and everything, but the way that Ginny and George's relationship really prospered and grew, this season, I really loved it and I really admired it. Now, 4, who is Georgia going to end up with? Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really like Paul, and I didn't want to like Paul. I was really team Zion still, but he has like this beautiful new girlfriend, so I'm like, right? And I feel like Paul, the way he just like stuck with her, like he could have left and put her already in the boxer, you know what I mean? But he didn't. Now, honestly, I really do like their chemistry. Now, I know a lot of people love Joe. We love Joe, but when he got with Cynthia, I was like, it's time to wrap it up. I was like, I don't want to see this. Cynthia. I was like, no. And I feel like Joe, like, I know people love the past and how like, oh my God, Georgia remembers the past. Obviously, dummy. Sorry. I just don't think they should get together. I just think that people just love to like reminisce on the past and call it that. Now, before we get into next theory, if anybody from Netflix is watching this, of course, anybody from Ginny and Georgia, I have been a picture of myself in my social media, so any guest appearances, roles, anything, immediately is great for booking. Okay, now let's get into the last theory. Now, ultimately, Amina, what do you think the plot is going to be like in season 3? Now, I feel that, of course, it's going to be with either Georgia being in, you know, the box for like maybe like the first 2 episodes, or her getting out, because there's no evidence. Unless there's like a camera, then she's like damn screwed, right? 2, I feel that it's gonna definitely explore Ginny and her growth. I think that Ginny might stay with her dad. I do love their relationship, daddy and daughter, and I feel like, of course, also gonna, you know, follow his, you know, sister. Paul definitely gonna have a share in his career, for sure. And his parents, they're already knowing enough. Just imagine him on his bumper. Whew, child, I feel bad for him. And let's see what else. Amina, what do I think? It's coming out of my mind because this is like freestyle podcasting. Ultimately, I feel like Gail's gonna do something. He gonna come out the shower and be like, pop, pop. Something's gonna happen with him. I just feel it. All right, but that is it for today's YouTube video, guys. I hope you guys loved it. Do not forget to check out my other YouTube videos. I did beauty and confidence affirmations. My other video, I did a sports video. As you guys know, I love sports as well, so I talked about the Broncos and the NFL playoffs next year. So make sure you guys, of course, go watch Joe's, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram. I talk to you guys mostly on Instagram. I'll always go live on there. My story is always litty, and yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna link everything down below. But I hope you guys have a blessed day and stay safe out there, and peace, mind, blessings.